So a great thing about technology is it lets us personalize our learning for the students. And I've shown examples of this before in my transformation unit when it was reflections. The kids came in and did a GeoGebra activity, and it was great. Some students got through half the activity, some students got through the whole thing, and it was okay. It was just a discovery day. It was a day for them to work at their own pace and get as far as they could and establish whatever learning they could. And then I was completely available to walk around the room and help students as needed. They got to choose how they accessed it and working at their own pace. Anytime we can give them that choice and help them, it's fabulous. Another way that I found this super helpful was when I got to, it was a couple years ago, and my students we'd gone through 3 units, I think, and my test scores were just not exactly what I'd hoped for. And I thought, man, they're just not getting this. So I'm like, I got to reflect, I got to do something different. So I decided for unit 4 to create, instead of doing an around the room review or a game for a review, I decided to create 4 videos. I took my unit, broke it into 4 sections, and created some videos and put them on a Nearpod activity. Now, in the video, what happened was the students saw me give some instructions on how to do a certain type of problem or concept, whatever we're working on, reminded them of the rules. I worked through about 4 problems. Then I went ahead, and the next screen was a blank screen with 4 problems for them to work through. And I asked the students to pause the video at that time and work through those problems on their own. And then they could come back and press play, and I showed them all of the answers so that they then had a chance to look and see what they'd done wrong or they got them right. Great. And when my students came into class, they were instructed that they could pace this however they wanted. If they needed to rewind a video to hear something again, if they wanted to take notes, they could. And I saw students doing this. I saw students rewinding and rewatching, and I saw students taking notes and really taking it seriously, studying the way I would want them to, right? And after an activity, we would pause and I'd still throw in a time to climb or some fun game. One, so that I could just see, did they get it? Did they watch that video? And I could reinforce any learning there if needed. And then we would move to the next video for the next concept. And that was my activity for the entire day. The exciting thing about it was after test time, their scores improved probably about 15% overall on average from the prior test, which to me was significant enough to know that, hey, that personalizing, some of those students really needed to be able to rewind and watch and write down, and some didn't, and that was fine. They could just do the review activity. So personalizing learning is awesome. One other great tool that I found that you can utilize in your Canvas, everybody has a studio. And in that studio, again, you can put up videos. But when you put up videos, it allows you to create quiz questions within the videos. And you can hide it so your students don't know when the quiz questions are coming up, so they have to watch the whole video. This was another great tool. Again, allowed my students to go at their own pace, rewind, rewatch, take the quiz again. And I have, like, the studio will show you the reports. And so you can see there are some times where students have 1 or 2 attempts. And I can see what they did. Did they get a 0%, a 50%, 100%, depending on how many questions I put on that quiz. So that's another great way to really personalize that. It could be a homework assignment. Hey, I want you to watch this video, take this quiz as a prep for the next day. There's just so many ways we can use technology to really personalize the learning experience. I'd encourage you to play around and see what's out there and how you can make it so that your students really can work at their own pace and get that learning that they need in the time and way that they need.